Welcome, everyone, to episode 49 of the David Guillaume podcast. We have incredible energy this week, and I want to talk about some of the challenges that we might be facing or experiencing and some powerful kabbalistic tools that we can use both practically and tactically in order to create miracles in our lives. Usually I keep these podcasts somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes just to be respectful of everyone's time, and I will consolidate what the sages have been telling us about this week's energy so that you can use it in your life right away. As always, I like to share a couple of announcements about things going on. Number one, a lot of people are asking me what's the best way to study. I have a lot of digital courses. I have this podcast. I have my Instagram and TikTok that kind of shares bite-sized content. But if you haven't taken Your Infinite Soul, which is on yourinfinitesoul.com, that is the most powerful way to learn this wisdom, to learn the foundations and understanding of our soul, why we are here. And it will give you the framework of learning everything else that I'm teaching on a much deeper level. It's also a pay what you feel is right to you program. So you can pay whatever you want. I don't want any kind of financial burden getting in the way of someone being able to access this wisdom. And I have a level 1 and I have a level 2 where I go deeper into the kabbalistic framework. So that's yourinfinitesoul.com. It's an on-demand digital course, and you can watch it or listen to it wherever you are, on the go, at the gym, on a walk, on a drive, on a plane. The second thing is I am going to be on tour, and my next stop is in Paris on July 13th. So anybody who's going to be in Europe or around in Asia, it's a great opportunity to fly in. It's going to be an 8-hour seminar on Sunday, and we're going to get into a fairly new topic, actually, how to create miracles in our lives. And I'm always sharing new content when I'm doing these seminars. The seminar after that is going to be August 10th in Los Angeles. If you go to davidguillaume.com, you can see all the cities coming up on my tour, including London, Tel Aviv, and Miami, New York, as well as Dubai and Abu Dhabi. We are just days away from closing. So let's talk about the energy of this week. We are entering the month of Cancer, which the sages say Cancer is one of 3 months throughout the year where there's an intensity of the light of the Creator that comes down into this world. An intensity of the light of the Creator comes down into this world in the month of Cancer. And the other months are Leo and Capricorn. Now, what happens during these months, the sages call them the Gimel Rishonot. It's the upper 3 dimensions of the 10 dimensions, which is considered to be the most intense part of where the light is revealed. If you think of how our body works, from the neck up represents also those 3 dimensions. I know I'm going a little bit deeper than usual, but I also like to kind of share a deeper framework of what the Kabbalists share in order for you to understand where these concepts are coming from. So if we have 10 dimensions of light, 10 dimensions make up a complete, what's called parsuf, a complete entity. The upper 3 are always going to be where the greatest light is, and then the lower 7 kind of constitutes the body or the vessel. It's the neck down that reveals the upper 3. So in the month of Cancer, we are partaking of this energy of the upper 3. Now, what does it mean when there's a great light being revealed, when there's a lot of energy being revealed? We might often think of that to be a good thing. Who doesn't want more of the light of the Creator revealed in their life? If the light is revealed in your life, the darkness goes away. Pain and suffering goes away. Whatever you're going through right now in your life, be it something in relationships, some kind of heartbreak, some kind of rejection, some kind of financial obstacle, a legal battle that you're having, some kind of tension or fight between you and friends, siblings, family members. Maybe you're going through a health challenge. Maybe actually you've achieved so much in your life, kind of you reach the top of the mountain, and then you're being hit with a post-success depression. You're kind of, what's my purpose now? What's the point of everything? This is a question often people ask. All of these constitute some level of darkness. Why that darkness is there, there's many reasons. But one of them is simply because our soul came to this world to transform the darkness. So we are truly looking for opportunities where we feel fear, doubt, and lack so that we can choose to overcome them. Whatever you're going through, this is a beautiful opportunity. It's been scripted since the time of creation. Your soul has been waiting for this moment, and it's a moment that you'll never get back again. It's a wonderful opportunity to reveal light and miracles that have been waiting to be revealed in your life. However, the light by itself, without a vessel, actually is chaos. Darkness isn't the absence of light. Darkness is the excess of light. It's almost like if I'm going to drink this water, if someone comes and pours a pitcher of water into this glass and keeps pouring beyond the glass, it's going to cause spillage and we're going to have chaos everywhere. The water is good. I want water. But when the water exceeds what the vessel can hold, we have chaos. We have flood. We have drowning. We have something that's so beautiful, which is water. People love living by a coastline. People love swimming in the ocean. People love going to the beach. But when the water is not in a proper vessel, we have destruction. And that goes with everything in the physical world as well. When there's more money than the vessel can handle, we have problems. When there's more attention or love given in a relationship where the other person doesn't have a vessel to hold it, we have problems. When children receive more than they've earned, we have problems. Everything in life is the balance of light and vessel. And so in the month of Cancer, there is an abundance of energy coming forward. So who does this benefit? The people who are building the spiritual vessel of this month. Who will this energy burn? You'll feel intensity, you'll feel judgment, you'll feel sadness. You'll feel that things aren't working out the way you want. You feel that things are falling apart. That's because we didn't create a spiritual vessel to hold the intensity of this light. So this month and the next month, the next 60 days really, can be the most miraculous time of your life. Or it could be one where the lessons that are being learned are happening very painfully. Now, how do we get ahead of it? How do we build a spiritual vessel? First off, a vessel is always created by what the sages call restriction. They gave a name for it, which is a simsum. Simsum means like the rejection of energy. I've shared this analogy before where when the sun is shining its rays of light, and these rays of light go through outer space and then hit the surface of the earth. What are we seeing on the surface of the earth? We're seeing daytime. We're seeing the revelation of light. What do we see in the sun? We're seeing this revelation of light, this ball of fire. What are we seeing in outer space? We're seeing darkness. So it's interesting. We're seeing light, darkness, light. Even though the rays of light are there in outer space, we're still seeing darkness. The reason is because there's nothing to resist the rays. The rays of light only become revealed when there's a force that pushes that light back. This is how a light bulb works. And this is how our soul works. Whenever we try to take energy in, there's energy available. And maybe that energy is meant for us. Maybe this relationship is meant for us. Maybe this money is meant for us. Maybe this business deal is meant for us. Maybe this home is meant for us. Maybe all these things are meant for us. But if you try to take it in without letting go, without some form of resistance, you will not have the vessel to hold that energy. Restriction, which restriction means I feel lack or fear, and therefore I want to grab at the energy. Restriction is despite feeling the lack, despite feeling the fear and the doubt, I'm going to push away that instant gratification and allow myself to feel the pain. Not suppress the pain, not suppress the desire, not ignore the pain, but actually to feel it and to love it. And that's why in Your Infinite Soul, first class, first session, we teach the tool, pause, what a gift. You're pausing, taking instant gratification, and you're basically loving the pain and the lack that you feel. And what that does is it gives you a new vessel, what the sages call the vessel of the soul, or what's called the circular vessel. You're basically shifting to a vessel that can hold the light, and then you have a miracle. I don't know why it works this way. I mean, I know why it works, but I don't know what exactly happens that it works so well. I don't know where these answers come from or where the miracles come from. All I know is when a person does the proper letting go of that need for instant gratification, letting go of the need to know now. I need to know. I need to know what you did. I need to know what you said. I need to know who you're talking to. I need to know who my soulmate is. I need to know when I'm getting married. I need to know when this deal is closing. I need to know, I need to know, I need to know. This neediness to know, which is called knowledge, is the very thing that is destroying your vessel to hold light. You don't need to know. Why don't you need to know? Because you already know everything. You are already whole. Once you establish the consciousness that you're already whole, this is the secret of resistance. We're not pushing the energy away because we're trying to suffer and delay our gratification. No, you're pushing it away because you already have it. That's your consciousness. When we give the mantra that I'm already whole, the reason we're doing that is because by default, when you already have everything, you're not going to take anything. And when you're not taking anything, this is the resistance. So it actually reveals everything. Why is it that there's a saying, if you want something to get done, you give it to a busy person? Often you see this in companies. The A players keep getting the most responsibility because they're the ones that are getting it done. So you want to keep giving them more. While the B players, you're always hesitant to give them more work because you're not even sure it's going to get done. A players are receiving more responsibility, more pay, more energy, they're more attractive because they're always in a state of creation. They're always in a state of wholeness. So what an A player is doing, A player is vibrating on wholeness. A B player or a C player is always overthinking, is always coming from a place of what if it doesn't work, is always overanalyzing, and is having doubts, not trusting the process, not trusting the creator. A players have certainty. Even if they don't know what they're doing, even if they don't know how it's going to work out, they just move with the energy. There's a level of wholeness that they feel that allows them to just keep going and have momentum as a result. So the way we build a spiritual vessel is every time we feel the energy is controlling us, every time we feel fear or lack or doubt, we pause and we lean into that pain. And we say, what a gift. And with what a gift, we're feeling whole. I was at a wedding last night, and one of the girls was asking me, how do I find my soulmate? Actually, one of her friends was asking for her, what is your best advice for her to find her soulmate? I said to her, whenever your number one goal is to find someone, whenever your number one ambition is to find someone, you're always going to be coming with a level of neediness. And as a result, your vibration is that you're missing something. And because you feel that you're missing something, you're pushing all the guys away. Not that you're pushing them away consciously, but often the type and quality of a relationship that we desire is a person who's whole. Right? No one's putting on their dating profile looking for someone who hasn't figured out their life and has no spirituality and is financially insecure and doesn't take care of themselves. No one's actually asking for these things. Everyone's asking for the same thing. I want someone who knows what they want. I want someone who's confident. I want someone who's taking care of themselves. I want somebody who's financially stable or has the desire to win no matter what, so they will be financially stable one day. We're all looking for this energy of wholeness. So if we're approaching it with an energy that we're missing something, we're always going to be pushing away those men or pushing away those women. It's like when people ask, why is it that the men I like or the women I like don't like me, and the men and women I don't really care about are chasing me all the time? Well, think about it for a moment. The ones you don't really care about, what's your vibration with them? You don't need anything because they're not offering you something that you need so you don't feel neediness. So they become more attracted to you because you actually, relative to them, you feel whole. So for example, let's say you're vibrating at a 5 out of 10. You desire someone who's a 10, but the people who are chasing you and loving you are the people who are a 5. But you're like, I don't want a 5. Why do they like me so much? They like you because you're vibrating exactly at their level, a 5. And the reason why the 10s, again, I'm using these numbers just to be able to explain a concept. The reason why the 9s and the 10s can't find you or aren't attracted to you or don't feel compelled to speak to you, or they do, but they don't feel compelled to follow through, is because they're realizing that the work they're putting in to vibrate at a higher level, you may not be. And of course, that doesn't mean if they go to the gym, you go to the gym. That doesn't mean if they are doing certain actions, you're doing similar actions. What it means is that your job is to constantly look at the 4 major areas of your life: emotional, spiritual, intellectual, and physical, and say, what more can I do to let go in each of these areas? When a person exercises and goes to the gym, which arguably there's not one person in this world who will say that's unattractive. No one's going to say, oh, you exercise and you're healthy? That is so unattractive. No one's going to say that. Nobody in the world's going to say that. Universally, it's accepted. The healthier you are, the more attractive you are. So when you literally go to the gym, when you don't want to, when you're pushing through those minutes that you don't want to, when you're pushing through those weights that you don't want to, when you are running that mile or 2 miles and you're done and you go that little bit further, what are you doing? You're letting go. And the moment of let go, you create a vessel that holds light. And that is why when you walk out of the gym, people view you as more attractive. Even if you physically look the same. This is what people have told me. It does not matter that the gym is making you look a certain way. People aren't attracted to the way you look. They're attracted to the level of surrender and restriction that you did at the gym to create the vessel. Now duplicate that across your life. If you're having a fight with your mom, or a fight with a brother, or a fight with a friend, or an ex, or an ex-husband, or an ex-wife, you're having a fight. There is a lack of surrender. There's a lack of letting go. There's a lack of consciousness. And as a result, there's a lack of a vessel to hold light. And as a result, your attractiveness level goes down, simply because you're fighting with your ex. Now, I'm not saying you need to agree with everyone. I'm not even saying you need to be friends with everyone. But if there is animosity and negativity in a certain area of your life, that's going to carry over into every other area of your life. And you will have a smaller vessel to hold light. And as a result, the things you desire cannot come to you because you're not vibrating on the same level. So what is it that we can be surrendering with our health, with our finances? Finances, we could have a whole 6 hours on this. And maybe in the next podcast, I'll talk more about it. But our relationship with money often does not, from what I've seen, and I'm saying this also about myself because I'm seeing limitations all the time around finances, we hold on tightly to our money. We have limitations around 2 things. One, giving and sharing with other people, but also what I've noticed, giving and sharing with ourselves. People don't like to spend money on themselves. Many of you know I have a vitamin company. And so we always would do focus groups. And one time we were on a Zoom. We had about 12 parents, 12 moms or dads on a Zoom call. And we asked them, show us what your cabinet looks like where you keep your supplements. It's a focus group. And we looked at the cabinet and we saw that some of the supplements that were there were Mary with Organics, my company. And we saw other supplements, kind of more generic brands, like maybe a Kirkland brand, something you might get from Costco. And we saw that our kids' vitamins, which are considered to be a premium supplement line, often maybe around $20, $25 a bottle, they had our kids' line. But when it came to the adult line, they would buy a $5 or $6 bottle from a very generic supplement from a Costco or from a GNC or something like that. And so I asked the question, I said, why, if you believe that the kids line is a good line and it's a healthy line, it's a clean line and all these things, why are you not buying the men's and women's multivitamin from the Mary with Organics brand? Like, why are you only buying it for your kids? And the answer was so eye-opening. A few moms said the same thing. They said, for my kids, I'll spend anything. For myself, what's the big deal? I'm just going to buy the cheap stuff. And I thought to myself for a moment, if both cost the same, and you have the finances to do it, you're still spending less on yourself, but more on your kids. This should be reversed. Because what are we teaching our kids vibrationally? What are you teaching in the world? What are you teaching your husband or your wife? That you're not valuable, that you're not important. What are you teaching in the world? Often, when people abuse us, take advantage of our time, cancel on us, ghost us, don't respect us, it's because there's some area of our life we're not investing in ourselves. We're not respecting ourselves. If you're buying low quality food, vitamins, or clothing for yourself, but high quality things for your kids and other people that you love, this is a tikkun, this is a correction. This is something that your soul came to this world where it might look like you're being a giver or a martyr, but the truth is you're not respecting and valuing yourself. So your vibration of loving yourself is at a 3, and then you're wondering why a narcissist or somebody comes to your life and treats you like a 3. Are you buying the best things for yourself relative to what you can? Are you buying the best clothing for yourself relative to what you can? When I tell you, do you deserve to receive the most luxurious, beautiful, expensive things, does that make you feel uncomfortable? I can tell you, and I'm actually going to continue this in the next podcast for next week. We'll get deeper into this because this is a huge theme that if we can shift this consciousness, we will be able to hold this magnificent light that's here in Cancer and Leo. We will see miracles if we shift this consciousness of deserving, of investing in ourselves. So I'm actually going to hang my hat on this concept, and I'll continue again in the next podcast. Where can we be surrendering in each part of our lives? Where are you holding on to something? Just let it go. Even your desire to need something so badly, let that go and focus on something else in your life and build something, create something. And no matter what, always have certainty. Because when you feel whole and you feel certain everything's going to be okay, this is the highest vibration you can be at. I'll say a mantra for each one of us, a little meditation that we can take for the energy of this week. And I'll continue this concept next week. I asked the Creator to open my eyes to show me that everything that I think I need or that I'm missing is already with me. I surrender and let go of the things that are tying me emotionally to people, to objects, to validation, to neediness. I'm cutting away all those ties. I'm feeling 100% whole inside. I have endless abundance. I have endless love. I already have endless validation. And all I desire now is to give and to serve, even if that means to receive. My receiving will also be of service, not because I need, but because it gives pleasure to everyone else to share with me. Join me again next week. I'll continue the concept and we'll go deeper into this concept of deserving.